Exciting time for everybody involved in basketball, players, coaches, fans. Big 12 conference, is first thing we try to sell in recruiting. Arguably, it's the best conference in the country each and every year. So we're excited to be a part of the fight. I think the non-conference, you've got a lot of objectives, but basically you're just trying to get ready for the conference season. I think in a lot of ways we've done that. First opponent, somebody that we have so much respect for. Coach Huggins has been great to coaches in his career, so it starts kind of on a personal friendship that I have with him, and we just have a lot of respect for their program, the toughness, the talent, the coaching, the fan base. They seem to always be a part of the fight, not only in our conference but in the national scene. So we look forward to playing a game against somebody that we have a lot of respect for.
Along those lines, Coach, who are some of the players that have stepped up for them in the place of those two guys that have left?
It always starts with your returners. Just like with us, we obviously lost key players from last year, but each season is different. The most experienced guard, Bolden, I've always loved his game. I think he's a sixth man of the year in our conference at one point, which when you're playing behind Carter and Miles, it speaks high volumes. And they've got a lot of length on their front court. And they got good players. They got a Hall of Fame coach. So, the conference season, everything it's back to 0-0. So I'm trying to get the guys to understand everything you've done to this point is basically just for preparation. So this is 0-0 Texas Tech at 0-0 West Virginia. It's a new season. Teams that have played well, you have to – doesn't mean anything. Like here we go again. The teams that might not have played their best have a new beginning. So what's really unique about our sport, college basketball, and Wednesday's just an opportunity for all of us.
From what I have seen of West Virginia, it looks to me like they're playing a lot of different lineups, maybe some different starting lineups, and their rotation is maybe not clearly defined. He's maybe trying to find some answers there in terms of their personnel and so forth. And now, if that is the case, does that make them more difficult to prepare for?
They're so difficult to prepare for anyway. It starts with Coach Huggins. This guy's a Hall of Fame coach. Our league is so blessed to have, I guess half the coaches in our league have been to Final Fours, and half of them, as we sit here today, will be in the Naismith Hall of Fame. And then there's a bunch of guys that are just trying to win their next game, maybe be in that same breath years from now. But Coach Huggins' teams are always going to play really, really hard. They're not going to beat themselves. They're going to take good shots, and then they have an identity. And the identity changes kind of from year to year. But this team's identity is very clear. They're the best in the Big 12 on rebounding. It's not even close. Offensively, they can just produce more shots and opportunities for themselves by crashing. So blocking out and rebounding is going to be very key for us. Then they're really aggressive on defense, whether it be trapping in the half court or full court. So I think with their players, their top 5 or 6 guys are getting those minutes. And it seems to me like he has a lot of talented guys on the roster that he's trying to find. So, it makes it a little bit more difficult. In personnel, you're going over 12 or 13 players, not 7 or 8. But each game's a different challenge. We've got a veteran locker room, and I'm confident that our guys will be ready to play.
What's Norrance's status for this game? Will he be available to play?
Yeah, he's fine. He practiced yesterday, and just like I said the other night, he could have played in that game, wanted to play in that game, but coaching's not just drawing up out-of-bounds plays. Coaching's leadership, and you got to make tough decisions, and just thought it'd be best to rest Norrance. And like I've said many times before, so much respect for Norrance. He's basically 100% bought in. 2 different coaches in his time here, a lot of adversity with injuries, but the guy just lays it on the line and trusts us just like I trust him.
Coach, along the lines with Norrance, was there any chance to speed up the process with Kayvon? What's his status, and do you think he'll see time in Big 12 play?
Yeah, kind of same answer, but true telling. We want him to play if he can help the team this year. He's basically playing full speed in practice now. He's getting reps with the first team. The other night he dressed out to go through the warm-ups. I thought it was pretty cool. I was like, man, get the rust off, get that feeling. So when the time does come where you can play in games, that's one thing that you've done. So he's basically seeing Dr. Crawford and those guys on a weekly and bi-weekly basis and basically just checking measurements and stuff like that. Like, again, the bone is healed, he's healed, but you know how the body works. You know, you got to make sure everything's working together, whether it be the ankle or the hips and all this stuff. Everything has to work together. So Kayvon's doing everything he's supposed to be doing right now. We've got a lot of basketball left. We're just starting the Big 12, so I think it's safe to say that we're basically kind of evaluating this on a day-to-day basis.
I know you guys haven't had a true road game, but how much do the trips like to Memphis and then to New York City help you get ready for a long trip to open conference play?
Yeah, but New York City was kind of like a road game with a lot of Red Raiders there. And so, yeah, we just, you know, playing on the road's a different thing. And with our team, you know, having so many veterans and guys that have done it before. But at the end of the day, you know, this game, again, it's 0-0 Texas Tech at 0-0 West Virginia. The team that plays the best for 40 minutes on Wednesday night is going to have the chance to win the game.
I guess for you, what's the challenge of kind of driving the ball against Konate, who obviously has been a rim protector the last couple of years?
Yeah, we've been here before, right, with our Duke game, as well as we played against a couple other really talented shot blockers in our first 12 games or so. Fine line. I mean, you don't want to just avoid. You want to go at him. You want to be competitive. I think if you talk to any player that blocks shots, and I had a chance to coach, you know, 2 of them last year, with Z and Zach, and then, of course, Tyreek, I think, is one of the best in the country. So you're always asking those guys. But, you know, from their point of view, they, you know, you got to go at those guys because you got to create opportunities for them maybe to foul. And it creates inside-out opportunities. But on the other hand, there's just an intelligence standpoint. You know, like, why would you go at that guy? He blocks every shot. So it's that fine line between being aggressive and being smart. So we'll spend a lot of time, not just this week. Every team in the Big 12 has an elite shot blocker on it. But it's certainly a part of basketball. The block shot's a huge play. You know, it tends to lead to great shots for that team in the backcourt too. So, you know, we pride ourselves in transition defense, but that starts with our offense. So, you know, we don't need to let Konate have one of these 8-9 block games. That wouldn't be in our best interest.
Just for you, kind of seeing the 4-guard lineup from last game, I guess what did you like from that, and what did you like from Corprew just kind of getting his first start and having a double-double?
Yeah, I think another, you know, good thing about our team is we've shown the ability to play different ways and different lineups. Certainly, we've played some great basketball with Norrance and Tariq in the game, then Malik coming off the bench. We've also shown the ability, just like everyone else in college basketball, to play, you know, with 4 perimeter players. Small ball is what they call it, but I don't quite understand what that is. It's like the Villanova, they kept saying small ball. Before the game, I'm sitting there and about 4 guys, 6'8", you know, they're not small. Basically what you're talking about is 4 guard ball. So Corprew gives us a chance to play different ways. I was really proud of him last game. So hard to get a double-double in a Division I game. So first, it just speaks highly of his talent, that he's talented enough to do something like that. But he's been very unselfish. He's played his role. Wednesday night will be an adjustment for him, his first Big 12 game. And I'm just going to try to do everything from a coaching standpoint to put him in a situation where he can continue to be successful.
I know Kevin McCullough just recently joined you, but I guess what have you seen from him in practice if he has been able to kind of suit up for you all?
Yeah, he's not cleared yet to play up and down, but he's doing upper body with John in the weight room. He's doing some lower body and conditioning with Chris Williams in the training room. But, you know, we're so excited to have Mac here. The whole world sees the talent, like I've said about Culver for 2 years now, the length, the athleticism, but Mac's just another guy that fits our culture completely. He's a team-first guy, wants to be coached, and he has a big vision. You know, guys like Mac didn't come here to finish 4th or 5th, and so easier to talk about than do, but it's just great to have another young guy in that locker room that believes like we do that we can do great things here at Texas Tech.
Any other questions?
Does McCullough remind you of Culver?
Yeah, talent-wise, absolutely. He's got, you know, length and athleticism, can play different positions. Mac's really wired kind of like a point guard, thinks that way. I've been really proud of Jarrett kind of changing his game. Great players change their game, man, in the offseason and even from week to week and game to game. And Culver, you know, has really embraced the idea of being more of a point guard, pass guy for us, and his assist numbers are an all-time high. I see those things in Mac. Mac can score, he can assist, he can defend. He's got that character too. You know, mom and dad and high school coach and AAU coaches. He comes to us very well prepared to play at this level.